Hey guys, Mark here. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, we're going to do a fairly long project of making a Turk's head knot key fob using the 4-pass Type 4 pineapple knot. Now this is quite a test of your skills, and I only recommend this project for those that would like to get deeply acquainted with the Turk's head knot, specifically the pineapple knot. So first, before you start this project, do try to tie a few pineapple knots just to get the hang of tying them. With that said, let's take a look at the supplies, then continue with the tutorial. Here you can see the project up close. This is a 4-pass Type 4 pineapple knot tied around a sphere. I ran another cord through the sphere in order to be able to attach my key fob onto a key ring. So this is what we're going to make. The first supply that we're going to need for this project is some sort of a PVC pipe or a dowel rod. This one is going to be used in order to tie the pineapple knot onto it. Now it needs to be slightly larger or the same size as the core that we're going to use for our key fob. Now for this specific project, the core is about 1 inch and 3/16 wide. You could also just use a core about 1 inch and 1/4 in diameter. As you can see, I have already attached a rubber band onto this PVC pipe in order to hold the standing ends. With that said, let's take a look at the other supplies as well. We're going to need 4 pieces of Type 1 paracord, each about 5 feet long. This is enough for a wooden sphere that is about 1 inch and 3/16 in diameter. You could also just use a wooden sphere about 1 inch and 1/4 wide. Now, you can see that it already has a hole drilled in, and you can find such wooden spheres in many art-related shops. As you can see, I have another piece of Type 1 paracord a bit under 3 feet long. This one is going to run through the wooden sphere and enable us to hang our key fob. As far as tools are concerned, we're going to need a lacing needle in order to tie the pineapple knot. We're going to need something to cut the cords with, as well as a lighter. With these supplies ready, we can begin. I started out by attaching my first cord here onto the PVC pipe. I attached a lacing needle onto the other end. I'm going to start with a wraparound, like this. I'm going to travel over the standing end, then around again. So over here and towards the right side. I'm going to take my lacing needle, and I'm going to travel the opposite of this cord here, so under, over. Like this. Then we're going to wrap around, and we're going to double up the standing end, traveling under, over. Again, traveling from right to left, we're going to go the opposite of this cord. So over, under, and over. And around again. You can see that we have doubled up the standing end with our working end. We're going to travel in between these two cords and go the opposite. So over, under, and then over. Like this. And from right to left, we're again going to go the opposite of this cord. So under, over, under and over. We're now going to double up the standing end again. So we start under, over, under, and finally over. Then, from right to left, we're again going to go the opposite of this chord. So, over, under, and over. And again we have two parallel chords to split, the standing end and the working end. We're going to travel in between them and do the opposite. So over, under, under and over. And then from right to left, we're again going to go the opposite of this chord. So we start under, over, under, over, under, and finally over. And we are again going to double up the standing end. So we travel under, over, under, and over. Then, from right to left, we're going to go the opposite of this chord. So, over, under, under, and finally over on the left. We again have two parallel chords to split. Again, these are the standing end and the working end. We travel in between and do the opposite. So, over, under, under, and finally over. And finally, we're going to do the opposite of this chord. We're going to travel under, then over, under, and finally over, under, and over. We place our working end next to the standing end, like this, and we have tied the first of the 4 passes. As you can see, I have loosened up my knot a bit in order to make things easier to see as well as tie. I have also placed the working end of my first chord under the rubber band just to keep it out of the way. I'm now going to take my second piece of paracord and place the standing end under the rubber band, onto the left side of the first standing end. I'm going to take the working end of my second piece of paracord and travel under 2, then continue over 1, under 1, over 1, under 1, over 1, under 1, and finally exit with an over 1. We're now going to travel on top of this next bite and re-enter with an over 1, then under 1, over 1, under 1, over 1, under 1, then over 2 to split a pair, and under 1. We do not exit the knot on the left side, but stop at an under 1. Here at the top you can see that we doubled up one of the top bites, then we entered back into the knot. We're going to start the next sequence with an under 1 as well, since we also finished with an under 1. So under 1, over 1, under 1, over 1, under 1, over 1, under 1, and then exit over 2. At the top, we're going to again follow the next bite on top of it. So this one. Then re-enter over 1. Over 1, then under 1. Over 1, under 1. Over 1, then under 2 to split a pair. Over 2 to split a pair, and under 1. Again, we do not exit the knot, but stop at an under 1. We're going to start the next sequence with an under 1 as well. Then continue over 1, under 1, over 1, under 1, over 1, under 2, and over 2 on the right side. Again, we travel on the right side on top of the next bite, then re-enter over 1, under 1, over 1, under 1, over 2, under 2, over 2, and finally under 1. Again, we do not exit the knot. We're going to start the next sequence with an under 1 as well. Then over 1, under 1, over 1, under 1, over 2, under 2, and over 2. Continue on top of the next bite and re-enter over 1, over 1, under 1, over 1, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, and under 1. We start the next sequence under 1, then continue over 1, under 1, over 1, under 2, over 2, under 2, and over 2. And again, we travel on top of the next bite and re-enter over 1, then under 1, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, and under 1. And we again start the next sequence under 1, over 1, under 1, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, and finally over 2 on the right. Again, we travel on top of the next byte and start the next sequence over 1, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, and under 1. Start the next sequence under 1, over 1, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, and exit over 2 on the right. Travel on top of the next byte and start the next sequence over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, and under 1. Start the next sequence under 1, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, and finally over 2 on the right. We travel over this byte, the last one remaining, then start our sequence with an under 1. So under 1, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, and finally under 1. We're now going to place our working end next to the standing end of the same chord, so the second chord, like this, under 2, and with that we have finished the second chord. For the third pass, we're going to take the third piece of paracord, we're going to place it in between the first and second standing end, like this, so in between the first two chords. Then, with the working end, we're going to travel just above this crossing, this V shape of the second chord. So effectively, we're going to go under 4. So under 4, then over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, and finally over 2 on the right side. On the right side, we're going to follow the top of the next byte and then re-enter with an over 2. So over 2, then under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2 under 2, over 3, and under 2. We do not exit on the left side, but stop just before with an under 2. So you can see that we follow the top of the next byte, then re-enter the knot. We're going to continue by starting the next sequence with an under 2 as well. Since we finished the previous one under 2, we also start with an under 2. So under 2, over 2 under 2, over 2 under 2, over 2 under 2, and finally exit with an over 3. On the right side, we follow the top of the next byte again and re-enter over 2. So over 2 under 2, over 2 under 2, over 2 under 3, then over 3 and under 2. We do not exit on the left, but stop just before with an under 2. We're going to start the next sequence again with an under 2, then continue over 2, under 2, over 2 under 2, over 2 under 3, and over 3. We follow the next byte on top of it, then re-enter with an over 2, then under 2, over 2 under 2, over 3, under 3, over 3, and finally under 2. We're going to continue by starting the next sequence again with an under 2, over 2 under 2, over 2 under 2, then over 3, under 3, and over 3. On the right side, we again follow the next byte on top of it and re-enter with an over 2, then go under 2, over 2, under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, and under 2. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . We continue the sequence with an under 2, over 2 under 2, over 2 under 3, over 3, under 3, and over 3. we again follow on top of the next byte and re-enter over 2, under 2, over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, and under 2. We start the next sequence under 2, over 2, under 2, over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, and over 3. We follow the next byte on top of it and re-enter over 2, then under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, and finally under 2. We start the next sequence under 2, over 2, under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, and over 3. We follow the next byte on top of it and enter with an over 3, then under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, and under 2. Then we start the next sequence under 2, over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, and finally over 3. Then we follow the last byte on top of it and re-enter with an under 1. Like this. Then continue over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, and under 2. So we finish the sequence under 2. Then we turn back in and place our working end right next to the standing end of the third chord going under 3. So right next to it. With this we have finished the third pass. I'm going to continue with the last of my chords. I'm going to take the standing end and I'm going to place it in between the first and third standing end. I'm going to take my working end with the lacing needle attached and I'm going to go under and come up here at the crossing of the two chords from the third chord. So effectively I'm going to go under 6 and come up. Then I'm going to continue a sequence of over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, and exit on the right with an over 3. I'm going to travel on top of the next byte and re-enter with an over 3. So over 3, then under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, then over 4 and under 3. I do not exit the knot on the left, but stop at an under 3. I'm going to continue by starting the next sequence again with an under 3. Then over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, and finally over 4 on the right. I'm going to go on top of this next byte and re-enter over 3. So over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, then under 4, over 4, and finally under 3. I'm going to start the next sequence again with an under 3. So under 3, then over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, under 4, and over 4. I'm going to travel on top of the next byte and re-enter over 3. So over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, over 4, under 4, over 4, and under 3. I'm going to start the next sequence again with an under 3. So under 3, over 3, under 3, over 3, under 3, then over 4, under 4, and finally over 4. I travel on top of the next byte and re-enter over 3. So over 3, under 3, over 3, under 4, over 4, under 4, over 4, and finally under 3. I'm going to start the next sequence under 3, then over 3, under 3, over 3, under 4, over 4, under 4, and finally over 4 on the right. I travel on top of the next byte and re-enter over 3, then under 3, over 4, under 4, over 4, under 4, over 4, and under 3. I'm going to start the next sequence again under 3, then over 3, under 3, over 4, under 4, over 4, under 4, and finally over 4 on the right side. I travel on top of the next byte and re-enter over 3. So over 3, under 4, then over 4, under 4, over 4, under 4, over 4, and under 3. I start my next sequence under 3, over 3, under 4, over 4, under 4, over 4, then under 4, and finally over 4 on the right side. Now I travel on top of the next byte and re-enter with an over 4. So over 4, then under 4, over 4, under 4, over 4, under 4, over 4, and under 3. I'm going to start the next sequence under 3, then continue over 4, under 4, over 4, under 4, over 4, under 4, and finally over 4 on the right side. I travel over my last byte and start my next sequence under 1, then continue over 4, under 4, over 4, under 4, over 4, under 4, over 4, then under 3, then I place the working end of my last chord next to the standing end of the last chord, like this, traveling under 4. With this, we have tied the knot. After we finish tying the knot, I'm going to prepare it by running all of the working ends under the knot and to the right side. This is going to help me finish the knot in a much easier way. So to do this, what I'm going to do is remove the knot from the mandrel, take the first working end, and right where it is coming out, I'm going to go back in and come out on the right side. I'm going to take the next working end and do the same. So I go back in where I came out and run under and come out on the right side. Then the next chord, and the last of the chords, like this. At this point, what we're going to do is prepare the core so that we can transfer this knot onto it. I'm going to take a smaller piece of paracord and I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to use this top part as a loop and I'm going to tie a stopper knot just under it. You can use any type of a stopper knot you like. In my case, I'm going to use the lanyard knot. So with the left strand, I'm going to make a loop. With this right strand, I'm going to go under the loop, like this, so towards the top. Then with the right strand, I'm going to pass over this top left chord, then under the left working end, then over, under, over. So over, under, and over. So this is what you get. I'm going to take this top right chord and pass over this one, so the top left, then under and through the middle. Then with this other chord, I'm going to travel past this top right chord and under and through the middle. Pull on both ends in order to tighten it up. And what you get is a lanyard knot. Now I'm going to want to move this one up a bit, so I'm just going to work one of the strands in the knot through it in order to reduce the size of this top loop. So to something like this. So we have one lanyard knot here. Now I'm going to run these two bottom cords through the core that I'm going to tighten my knot onto. So after running my two ends through the core, I'm going to tie another lanyard knot. And again I'm going to have to move it closer to the core. With the core prepared, I'm going to run it through the knot, then tighten up this 4-pass pineapple knot onto the core. This is going to take a while, and we always start at the standing end and run the slack out through and out the working end. Then we go to the next cord and then the next and so on. I'm going to need to retighten each cord 2, maybe 3 times in order to get a nice look. The final touch in making this key fob is to roll it in between 2 pieces of wood in order to flatten it out a bit. On these outer sides, I usually tap like this, just to round the edges off. And with this, our key fob is complete. Guys, thank you for joining me in this fairly long tutorial. I hope that it proved useful. Thank you and see you next time.